Leslie and I have known each other since early childhood. We grew up on the same country road in Mississippi.
I think why we're good for the community of Mississippi is because we're a product of this community. We are just two country guys, and we were embedded with what I call the diamonds of good character.
Come, join the family, and help us build the community.
Charles, what's up, man?
Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
You know, I decided to do this from outside today, and of course, it was quiet, it was peaceful when I came out, and as soon as I started the show, somebody wants to show off they got a new muffler or something. What's up, man?
Everybody's making noise with their cars in the age of cars.
They are, man. Look, you know what? I titled the show today Unfinished Business because I want to make sure as I frame it up that we're partying with a purpose. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
So let's dive into that, man. Let's dive into what we mean and what we're not going to be long today because we know that President-elect and the first Vice President will be taking the stage here in a little bit, but we do want to frame up the importance of what's ahead. So, Charles, why don't you lead us into that?
Well, it's a momentous occasion. Fascism is pushed back. The democracy has been put in stable hands. We have the first Black female Vice President-elect in Kamala Harris. Congratulations to her and President-elect Joseph Biden. But we also have Mitch McConnell signaling, and he's signaling a lot of bravado that the Senate is still his. And so here's where I am. We celebrate a hard-fought victory, as you can see by the celebrations that were like spontaneous combustion all around the world. In France, they rang the bells. In London, they shot fireworks. New York, Philadelphia, you name it. And especially at 1600 Black Lives Plaza, everybody is celebrating. How you get fired on your day off, bro? And for those who were very impatient with the count, that's one of the few times that the Black church is invoked because they felt like the people who count the collection plate could count a little bit faster, especially than Nevada. Nevada was was doing what Nevada does.
Everybody knows Nevada they have their own set of rules and they have their own way they go about doing things.
Exactly. If I can count the times that people want to know why the count is not moving, why it's not moving, that's democracy in action. You count every vote. And guess what? Today is a great day.
You know, I think today is a great day for a lot of reasons, a lot of firsts. You know, first woman vice president, the first male second man, if you will, the first person to be elected president at the age of 78, I think. I mean, it's a lot of firsts, but more important, I think the biggest first is that I've been hearing a lot of rhetoric around that fact that 70 million people voted for Donald Trump, and that's true. And 74 and counting voted for change. And so the simple facts is, as somebody said, it's just math. It's not even fancy math. It's just math. And I think the reality is most people in this country are in the middle. You and I both have friends that sit on both sides of the aisle. We have conversations and work with people that have a different policy standpoint all the time, but most people sit in the middle. And when you realize that 90% of the world sit in the middle and you got 5% on each extreme, I like the 90. And I think as long as the 90 come together and work together, we can do great things and advance things in the good of the 90. But right now, in this moment, it's very important for everybody to understand as we celebrate the change that's coming. We got to understand we are not finished writing the change. We're not finished writing the script of change. And so when I say that, I'm saying that to me in January in Georgia, all eyes on Georgia, we have unfinished business.
No doubt about it. Here's what I see. We have on the one hand a huge celebration. Shout out to Howard University, first HBCU represented in the White House, capacity of that nature. Shout out to the Divine Nine, especially the ladies of AKA. Shout out to Black women, past and present and future, who can now see a reflection of themselves in the seat of power at the table. And if we're being real about it, shout out to all the Black ladies who organized from the ground up in Atlanta, in the suburbs, in Philly. And then if we back it up, shout out to Jim Clyburn. He played Kingmaker once again.
I mean, you know, carry on. I'm just getting my thoughts together. A lot of emotion going on right now, but go carry on.
Yeah, and I wrote about it a little bit today on Facebook earlier because it was on my mind. I often think about Benjamin Franklin, especially a lot over the last 4 years. And what was the intention for this country? What did you give us? A monarchy or a republic? And he said a republic if you can keep it. And I hope it's not lost on anyone that we brushed up against a monarchy.
And you know, I think can you explain that a little bit? Because that's a very deep thought. I can tell you spent some time rolling around on that one. So flesh that one out a little bit, just so because you went deep there, brother. You went all the way back to Booker T and Marcus Garvey deep on that one.
Yeah, well, you gotta think about the genesis of America was to take escape or refuge from tyranny of monarch. And at that time, interest and thoughts and well-being was not a part of the equation. Neither was women, by the way. It was for white men, by white men, in order to create a more perfect game. And so we saw in the last administration, President Trump was focused on himself and his family and his well-chosen lieutenants to wreak havoc to the norms and to the Constitution. And what I mean by norms is there are certain things that you do as a leader of a country. And one of those main things is, as Joe Biden said, I think I got an echo.
Okay. I can't hear, but Joanna said it's a lot of echo, so we're gonna.
I don't quite know how to fix that. What about now?
What we can do to try to control it? Let's mute out when we're not speaking.
Okay. Well, my bigger point is he was attempting to have everything revolve around him. No duty of care for the citizens of the United States. He started with Muslim bans and Mexicans as rapists and murderers, gang members. Um, he trashed just about every black city that you can think of. Um, he talked about S-hole countries, and he isolated America. He chose a path of America first, but not more than that, America only, and more than that, white American men only. Machismo, the age of WWE in the White House. And that ramped up tensions. It caused people to be fearful for their well-being and their families. Uh, the only way he saw black people was as looters and rioters, and so he tried to talk about law and order. And so what you saw today in that spontaneous combustion was a real realization that we can choose to defend democracy, and that the power that we always talk about of the vote is very, very important. The lesson that I see um, in the fact that he got 70 million votes is that we see y'all. We see what you value. You know, they drape it in Christianity, they drape it in pro-life. Uh, but here's the thing about that. If you do unto others as you want them to do unto you, and if you truly believe in life, it can't just be the life of a fetus. It's got to be the life of the American citizens of the United States of America. Otherwise, we have the right to evict you from our house. See, he made the mistake of thinking that the White House was his. So that doesn't play. So I'm happy, but I'm also in a fighting mood. You know, my favorite president, Barack Obama, 44, he says you got to fight for it. And so I'm fired up and ready to go because Mitch McConnell is the living personification of a roadblock. And every black person, no matter how much money you have, knows how it feels to go through a roadblock. And so we have a chance to put him in the corner, put him in timeout, send him to minority leader status. Because at this point, Mitch McConnell is feeling just as free as we are. And he's feeling like it's business as usual because he doesn't have to listen to the Trump horde and he can do it his way. And so I think it's time for us to rally and rally hard because things don't happen by chance. And knowing that he is the walking personification of power and influence and money and resources, he's going to throw everything in his power at the Senate races coming up in Georgia. And so now that we have seen the exercise of power, I've always looked at Georgia as a mystical place because of Freaknik. I mean, it is what it is. but
That was mystical for some different.
oh yeah. But as we've grown older, we've seen the diversity and the economic engine. It's the hub of the whole entire southeastern United States. People go there just like people go to New York City. And you know, they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Atlanta has that same draw, especially for Black Americans, because a lot of us grew up in small towns in Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana and Tennessee. And we're looking for the American dream. And Atlanta has shown itself to be a place where we assimilate. And so knowing that, I feel like it's incumbent upon each one of us who has friends, family, partners, players, sorors, frats, Masonic brothers, grand poobahs, Indian chiefs, whatever it is, we need to rally I think when we look at the stakes could not be higher, especially for the Black community. Black women put on a superhero cape and carry uh, the United States to its promise of a more perfect union each and every day. So it's incumbent upon us to let them lead. Let them lead. We got our marching orders. We know what to do. We got to organize. We got to donate money because money is important. And we got to register new voters.
Well, speaking of that, Charles, I just want to, and I may be the one with the echo. So if I am, let me know, family. I'll switch mics. But December 7th is the last day to get registered in Georgia for the election. And my wife and I was having a conversation this morning. She has activated. She has activated in a major way. So you can go, Marcia, if you hear me, if you're out there, if you could put that link in that you can go to Reverend Warlock's site and get involved right now. And I'll make sure we post it on later too. You can get involved. You can text. If you ain't wanting to text somebody, you want to call somebody, you can make calls. If you can't do that, you can donate. But everybody can do something, and we have to do something, because right now, what's about to happen in Georgia is that, first of all, the person he's running against is very fluid. And when I say fluid, a lot of cheddar. They have plenty of money. And on top of that, the National Republican Party is about to pour a bunch of money into Georgia. So we have got to take care of business and let them know that it is our house. It's the house of the people, not the house of a person. You just paying rent. You there on a temporary basis as long as the people say so. And right now, we've got to take control of the Senate so that the president-elect and the vice president can go about taking care of business in January. It's very important we finish this business.
Oh yeah, we got to finish it. I'm not one for making a whole bunch of Civil War quotes, but I do know that when Sherman fought the Battle of Atlanta, he didn't stop there. He went all the way until he saw the water at the ocean. And so, while this is the battle for Georgia, and it's a double header, it's a very unique time, because they expect us to do what we have done. We have a pattern of not voting in other important races. I'm hoping the scales have fallen from our eyes and we see that we have the power. If we count every vote, those votes are representative of people in the community: the barber, the janitor, the cook, the cleaner. You know, I mean, that's us. That's us. And this is what representative democracy is supposed to look like. You have the child of a Jamaican and an South Asian, Indian, going into the White House as vice president. And get this.
Hold on. Just stop there for a second. Just think about the poetic sweet justice of what you just described. Say that one more time, but say it slowly. I want people to catch the visualization of that. One more time, Charles. One more time.
How about I say it like this? The White House was painted white. It's been burned down once, but each time it was built by slaves, Black people. And the cooking staff, the wait staff, the butlers, everybody that takes care of the White House is immigrant or Black. There's a few white people in there, but we are the majority. Yet we've never had a seat at the big table until Barack Obama. And so in a lot of ways, he brought Joe in, now Joe is bringing Kamala in. And to see her enter into that space as a Black woman, as an Asian woman, that is unheard of. And to see them engage with the rest of the world. So here's the gig. Here's the gig. Donald Trump says it's not over. The world has said it is over. because they tired of him just like we are. And so they want things to get done. If you want clean air and clean water to drink, we got the people that can do it. But if they are blocked on every turn by the United States Senate, because we have divided government. Nancy Pelosi and Jim Clyburn got the House covered. Chuck Schumer needs help. He can't do it from the minority position, because we've seen what they want to focus on is jamming the court with a whole bunch of judges. They don't care whether or not you eat or have money to get through this pandemic. They don't care about racial justice or voting rights. They don't care about equal pay for equal work. They don't care about the minimum wage. What they want is what they want. And he's already telling Joe what he needs to do with his cabinet and everything else. And it's premature, because I say we can win this. We just showed we can win.
You know, I think the other thing you got to understand, not only did we win it, but we did substantially better in Republican strong districts. And look, I saw a sign just in the protest on the White House right now. You will find a group that is Republicans against Trump. So this is bigger than, this is not about a party. This is about, to me, this is about the ideology of self over party. Donald Trump has been about Donald Trump. He hadn't been about anybody other than Donald Trump. And America simply said, thanks, but it's time is over.
Yeah.
Time is up.
And I think Joe Biden is right when he points to American optimism. I mean, I had never wanted to go to outer space, but I do think we as a country owe Stacey Abrams a spaceship on Bankhead, because she poured her heart and soul into organizing and educating all stripes of voter, whether you had money or you didn't have money. She didn't care about what you looked like, where you came from. What she cared about is that you understood the enormous power that you hold in your hand if you exercise your vote. In the heart of voter suppression, USA, Georgia is the home of voter suppression. Former slave prison, Georgia. Call it what it is, but now it's Wakanda, and it's up to us to protect it. So let's get it done.
I agree, and like I said, we're not going to hold it long today, but this this is sweet, but it's going to get sweeter after we finish the business at hand.
Yeah,
because it's about enacting change. It's about not having Americans worry about pre-existing conditions when now we have 8 million, I'm sorry, upwards of 9 million and counting 9 million and counting new people that now have a pre-existing condition due to COVID. So no, this is about every last one of those and everybody else that suffers from pre-existing condition. This is about Roe versus Wade. This is about humanity. And so it's time to finish the business. So I say that to say, Georgia, oh, Georgia, you've done a great job, but there's yet work to do. And we're going to join you in that fight. We can't cast a vote, but we can ring phones. We can send text messages. We can donate. It's not Georgia by itself. We're with you.
Yeah, we're with you. I mean, and you raised an excellent point about healthcare and pre-existing conditions, because next week, the Supreme Court is going to hear the case on the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, next week. So we can celebrate today, but they still doing their work. They trying to get rid of coverage for pre-existing condition.
Charles, let's address this question because I think it's a great question, and I'm gonna let you take this.
Well, we have the opportunity to exercise grassroots relational politics, meaning that in your phone, you have 10 or 12 people that you talk to regularly in every month, in every week. Maybe more than that. And then if you go one circle outside of that, you got 10 or 12 more people. Invite them. We will be talking to you about ways that you can engage. And Leslie, if you'll put up, I sent you a link or a screenshot of Stacey Abrams' message from just today, on ways that we can get involved immediately and just spreading the word to our family and friend in those relational situations. The second thing is, even though we're not there and we can't vote, we can get on some of the text messaging programs, which I'll get that information and make sure we spread that out. We can get on the phone calling, because it's one thing about it. They're going to motivate their people. They're already gearing up with the negative ads. I can guarantee you the war chest from the Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, which is headed by Mitch McConnell, has plenty of money to drop in. Reverend Warnock's race in particular, he's running against Kelly Loeffler, whose husband is the head of the New York Stock Exchange. She can write a check at any moment, any time, which is what she did against him in the jungle primary that he just came out with the best percentages in. She wrote a check to her campaign for $26 million. Power concedes nothing. But what I'm saying is, we don't necessarily, I don't know if there's anybody watching the show. I'm not going to watch your bank account. You can write a check for $26 million to Reverend Dr. Warnock or John Ossoff. Write that check right now. But you have something in untold riches. You have people that listen to you, people that trust you. And if you tell them that Mississippi got to stand up, that Texas got to stand up, that every state in the union that's got a pocket of black people got to stand up and defend Wakanda, guess what? We are a whole legion. And if we take just a little bit of time every day to push the boulder up the hill together, when it start rolling down and that momentum pick up, they're not going to be expecting what comes. Because what they're expecting is this exact thing happened right after Obama was elected. Because of his popularity, they forced the United Senate race into a runoff. And the Republicans won by 15 percentage points because we stayed at home, because we were happy that Obama had won. And so we celebrated that. But here's some information that can get you started. One thing about voter registration is, if you're 17 years of age now, but you'll be 18 by the time of January the 7th, then you can register to vote up through December, is it 5th or 7th? I have to check on that. But you can also go ahead and let your family members know that early voting starts December 14th. So you can start making your plan right now. You can go ahead and get your application in. ballotrequest.sos.ga.gov. So if you want to be safe during this time of COVID,
December 7th.
December 7th is the deadline for voter registration. Stacey Abrams got us 99% of the way. She registered 800,000 people. We got to go out and get some more. And we got to get the people that are registered to the polls. There you go. Marsha is laying down all the smoke you need. You go to these sites and register. And there's plenty of work that you can do on the organizing front. And let me tell you, I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't like calling and asking people for something. I want you all to think back to how happy we were when Barack Obama was elected, and the promise of hope and change. And the Republicans came together at the night of the inauguration, and they met and they said, we got to learn from what Obama did to get our people out, and we've got to start a program of obstruction. So Right now, what I'm telling you is this is our meeting. We all we got, we all we need. If we work and we work with other people from around the country, I know for a fact, all the people that celebrate now down at 1600 Black Lives Matter Plaza, there are people out there right now organizing and collecting names and collecting money to get money to this race because we all know how important it is. And McConnell thinks he's going to laugh in our face and tell us what he's going to do and what Joe must do. No. And if you want Kamala Harris to have some power, she will be the deciding vote in a lot of these issues that we can get pushed across, because as vice president, she'll be the tiebreaker vote if we get these two gentlemen elected.
Charles, I covered that yesterday, but I think it's worth covering again. What do we mean when we say she'll be the time vote? Explain the layout, where we stand with the balance of power in the Senate right now, and where she comes in.
Well, if it's a tie, if it's 50-50, then she will cast the 51st vote. It's just that simple. As vice president, she's afforded that vote, and she knows the Senate. She knows how to motivate her former colleagues, and it's no different than when Trump was in office and Mike Pence was the deciding vote. Vice president gets to be the tiebreaker. And so when you hear them say, well, the Supreme Court does not legislate, this is what we mean. If you let these things go to the Supreme Court, they're going to dismantle them. They're going to tell you who you can love. They're going to tell you what kind of water you can drink. They're going to tell women how to handle their own bodies when they know that best, and a whole host of things. They're going to tell you about civil rights, human rights, equal rights, economic justice, criminal justice reform. And so they've been working on that plan for a long time. But I don't think never in a million years would they think we having these conversations while we celebrating and getting ready to win these races, because they're going to be on the same ballot at the same time in the same place. So we all need to converge on Georgia. If we exercise our collective will, then we will control the Senate. Control of the Senate, control of the House, control of the White House provides us the opportunity to have transformative government.
Charles, my shirt says it all. Stop talking and start doing.
Yeah. We're gonna be checking in with y'all, because Joe Biden can't do this by himself.
So look, that's it. Short and sweet today, but take action. Marsha's put all those things in the resources in the chat to take action. Somebody tried to get in that chat line earlier. I politely kicked them on out. Trying to hack up into here. We're not having that. Not up in the Irvin Law family. And so come again. I'm ready for that too. But the reality is we have work to do. Get engaged, get involved, take action, and let's help Georgia bring it home and finish the business at hand. We'll see you next Friday, same time, unless we have to come back, and we will come back. We're going to see us a lot more on this march to January 5th. The election day in Georgia for the runoff is January the 5th, 2021. The last day to register to vote is December 7th.
That's right. It's time. It's time for us to do this for ourselves. Fannie Lou Hamer said she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's where I'm at with Mitch McConnell.
Charles, we said it all. What time does the president-elect and the vice president come on tonight?
8 o'clock Eastern.
All right, that means.
Now, hold on. One second. This is going to be a historical night, because the vice president normally does not speak. And so one thing I want you to consider when I know we're making a big ask and we cutting into y'all Andy Griffith show and Wagon Wheel and True Crime and 48 Hours, but it's worth it, because tonight you'll get a chance to hear the first female Black woman, Black Girl Magic, speak as vice president-elect. And one thing that some people may not know, I know a lot of people do know, Joe Biden didn't just talk about it, he was about it. His team is constructed with members of the HBCU community from Tougaloo, FAM, you name it, Howard, all up and down the line. So he's not just empty promises, but it's up to us to push our elected officials to do what we need to get done. The best way we can do that is to show them that we can deliver these 2 Senate seats so that he can have an opportunity to get it done.
Yeah, and then special shout out to AKA Nation and just all Divine Niners will join and celebrate and certainly be there for this momentous moment tonight. So again, that time, Charles, is
8 o'clock Eastern.
8 o'clock Eastern. All right, that's 7 o'clock Central. For those of you on Central Time, you got about an hour and 24 minutes. Hour and 24 minutes. So you got plenty of time to get your grub on, finish watching a little bit of the game. But we want to hear this and share this special momentous occasion because there's a lot of first nights, and it's an important night for change, and it's an important night for people of color, and it's an important night for humanity. So tune in. Charles, take us out.
We're asking you. It's in your wheelhouse. We're not just asking you and gonna leave you on the sideline. We getting in the fight. We need everybody in the fight. It doesn't take long, but it does take consistency. And so it's time to show up and show out. They can't do it by themselves.
There you have it. Hour, 22 minutes. I see you in front of the tube as we celebrate and we party with a purpose. Stop talking, start doing. Let's handle this unfinished business at hand. Take care. We love you.
Leslie and I have known each other since early childhood. We grew up on the same country road in Mississippi.
I think why we're good for the community of Mississippi is because we're a product of this community. We are just 2 country guys, and we were embedded with what I call the diamonds of good character.
Come, join the family, and help us build the community.